Hello, darling Aquarians and people with Aquarius placements. It is Capricorn season, and here is your horoscope reading for December 21st, 22nd to January 21st, 22nd-ish. Now, I have a different reading from last time because I want it to be sort of a follow-up to that reading, just to make sure that we're checking in, as well as it's different from the last one. It's not a start, stop, continue. It's got some somatic practices, it's got a journaling prompt, and it has some affirmations because I have these incredible decks that give me all of these really beautiful practices and affirmations. So we are getting our somatic practices from the Hack Your Nervous System deck. We are also getting our journaling prompts from the Soul Truth Awareness deck, self-awareness deck. And we are getting our affirmations from the Super Attractor deck. Right? So these are all wonderful, wonderful decks that have their own sort of vibe that they're bringing. And I haven't looked at anything. As you can see, all of the cards are still flipped over. I haven't looked at anything yet. So I'm very excited to see what this says for you, Aquarius. We also are working with the tarot cards today are the Voyager Tarot, as well as Mood Tarot, these weird goobers who we love so much. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got 2 3s to start off with and a 4 of Cups. So we've got a 3 of Wands, which is the compassion card. We have the 3 of Worlds, which is the nurturing card. And we also have the 4 of Cups, which says, I already have 3 damn crybabies. Crybabies are their way of calling the cups suits in this tarot deck. It's their way of referring to cups. So crybabies are cups. I already have 3 damn crybabies. Get that thing away from me. Doesn't want any more emotions. Please, no. And God, Spirit, some unseen forces like, have another. So I'm getting the sense here that y'all are having some challenging emotions. You've got a lot on your plate, and you might be in need of some nurturing. I don't get the sense that you should be the one giving the compassion and giving the nurturing. I get the sense that you need to be receiving the compassion and the nurturing. And sometimes for that to happen, we have the worlds, and we have a worlds card and a wands card. So we have the pentacles, which is what worlds is in this deck, and we have wands. These are the material energies. So everything that happens in our world outside of us. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about careers. We're talking about money. We're talking about our home, our physical home space, our environment. And we're talking about wands, which is spiritual energy. We're talking about the material and the spiritual. So where we have like the mental and the emotional, we have these sort of 2 balanced opposites that want to come together to try and help you get help. It's incredible too, because I was just doing some research on compassion research, because I'm very invested in that as a sort of portal for helping yourself, healing yourself, as well as healing our communities and healing other people and healing all of the systems that we have in play. But we can't have compassion without the witnessing of suffering, a desire to do something about it, and for that desire to be rooted in kindness and love. So it feels here like you're having this sort of plaguing, burdening reaction and response to all of the things that are coming up for you. And Maybe the way that other people have given you more than you actually care to handle. You can handle it. Doesn't mean you should. Doesn't mean that in order to create harmony, which is what the number 3 is about, doesn't mean that just to create harmony in your world, that you should say yes to everything. Okay? People pleasers. Okay? Perfectionists. I'm talking to you. You don't have to do everything all by yourself. You also don't have to say yes to everything. For you to experience compassion, you might need to turn that in toward yourself. You might need to be your own witness for a while and sort of like seal up the ports and not necessarily let any more of other people's energy in, so that you can nurture yourself and so that you can start to have compassion for your the very fragile state that you are in when you're trying to be so feminine and you're trying to live in that sort of gentle, caring, nurturing, motherly energy. And I wouldn't say that that's necessarily like perfectly feminine, because rage is also feminine, and uh, protectiveness and that sort of sharp-toothed scowl, that snarl that tells others, this is mine to take care of, this is mine to hold, and you're not going to fuck with it. That is also feminine. Not that any of this needs to be gendered, but if we're talking feminine as we know it, okay? If we throw away the feminine part, y'all have been too soft boundaried. You've been too cradling of other people's, children, as in like their issues, their reasons for doing something that hurt you, their excuses. Especially if you're ADHD autistic, you might accept their excuses and you might accept the reasons for them doing things, because understanding why other people do things helps us to forgive and helps us to move on, but also just like helps us relate to other people. I think the social dynamic of trying to hold compassion for others means that we have to try to understand them. As an ADHD autistic person, I have to try to understand, or else I'm not going to have compassion. Those two things are mutually exclusive for me sometimes, where I just can't. If it's somebody close to me, if it's a stranger, I can be like, I can make up 1,000 reasons why that person might be, flying down the highway. They might be about to shit themselves, and like I can, I can come up with a reason and I can forgive them immediately, fine. But if it's somebody who's in my world and close by, we've got the world's card here. If it's somebody who is supposed to be nurturing me, and I'm the one who is nurturing them all the time with my forgiveness and with my desire to understand them, but I'm not receiving that back, I might feel like, them handing me another one of their excuses, their reasons, is just like another nail in the coffin on why I feel like the part of our relationship that is mutual is dying, where there is respect is dying. So take a look at that. Pay attention to that. And I think the only card that I can see before it's flipped over, because there are two sides to it, so there's really no way for me to like hide it from myself, is the Soul Truth card, which has our journaling prompt. And the journaling prompt is, what can I burn? I think this is a really fascinating prompt to pair with this message, because a big portion of this message is take care of yourself and turn that compassion inward. Pay attention to your own suffering and then do something about it from a place of kindness and from a place of love, not from a place of guilt, shame, blame, or being so frustrated with yourself that all of these things are piling up and you can't handle them. Not from that place. From kindness, from love. from forgiveness, from forgiving yourself. So there's a lot of like what you need to give yourself, but I mean, what can I burn is asking, are there behaviors and habits that you have that lead to this too muchness, this carrying too much of other people's shit, and not, can you burn the habit of taking accountability for other people and holding yourself responsible for understanding other people, especially when they have not demonstrated that they would do the same for you? If we are to hack our nervous system, we might ground in and flow forward by dropping heels. All right, so I'll hold this up so you can take a screenshot, but I will also be reading it. Right, so if you would like to practice this right now, or if you would like to journal right now and you're feeling like, ooh, there's a lot coming up for me, what can I burn? Just pause the video, set a timer for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, as long as you have, as long as you need, so that you can just dump from your brain. Keep writing and writing and writing. Even start with the word maybe if you need to. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, so that you can just allow yourself to explore all the possibilities. Then drop your heels a few times. Sit in a supportive chair where your feet can comfortably reach the ground. Begin to connect with your breath and feel the length and strength of your spine. Inhale, press the front half of your feet to the floor and lift both heels up. Exhale, release the full weight of your heels to the earth. Pause between repetitions, feeling the reverberations through your legs and feet. Repeat 10 times. This is especially good for people who hold a lot of energy in their lower bodies, and for people who get the same sort of restless leg that I get sometimes before bed, or like as I'm trying to fall asleep, my calves will start just working themselves into a tizzy. And it's because our calves are like the second hearts of our body. Like the heart muscles have to be so strong to pump all of that blood throughout all of our bodies. But what happens once it reaches the very bottom end of our body and it has to get worked back up, and our blood has to fight gravity in order to come back up to our heart and recirculate so that it can get oxygen? Well, our calves have to be strong, and our calves have to do that. So as you are dropping heels, pay attention to the reverberations through those too, and try to see if you can release some tension in there so that your second and third hearts don't feel so constrained by all of the work that you've been doing, all the running around for other people's, on behalf of other people that you've been doing. Practice that 10 times. Pause the video if you need to. And here are our affirmations. All right. When I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love nature. The universe has big plans for me, and it's time to claim them. Babe, if you have been rushing around, taking care of other people's plans, and not living in that state of appreciation, not living in that state of gratitude, then you might be on track for burnout. And in fact, you might already be feeling burnt out. So use these affirmations, use these somatic practices and journaling prompts so that you can get back into a state where you can be giving yourself compassion all the time. You can be witnessing where you need to say yes and where you need to say no, where you need to ask for help and where you need to fly solo. I love you so much. I believe in you. You've got this. You are deserving of all the love that you desire. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Mwah.